You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got some breaking news involving the Browns. We've got their plan at quarterback for the game against the Rams. That's sort of an interesting game because of the Matthew Stafford drama, too. No, Stafford's not going to play in it, but I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo will get reps in it either. Stetson Bennett, by the way, he's looked pretty good. And I think he's older. He's like 27 years old now already. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. But we got a lot of information on the Browns involving that preseason game against the Rams. Right here, Kevin Stefanski said Joe Flacco will start versus the Rams. Starters will play 25 to 30 plays. Dillon Gabriel will play second. Shedeur Sanders will play third. In case you're wondering, Shedeur did play 11 on 11 yesterday. Practice in 11 on 11. I believe it was 3s and 4s. A lot of fans aren't going to be happy about that. Is what it is. Isaiah Bond will play on against the Rams after 3 days of practice. Interesting. All right. All veterans will be available for the Rams game. Doesn't mean they're necessarily going to play. All right. So Joe Bitonio and Myles Garrett, yeah, they're available. Doesn't mean they're going to play. So this is interesting. I've got Baker Mayfield making comments about Shedeur Sanders. Baker Mayfield, the last great Browns quarterback. All of this, think about all the drama for the Browns. And Baker was really honestly good in 2 out of 4 seasons. And he was hurt in that last one. Jimmy Haslam gives up on him because he's got to have Deshaun Watson. All of this comes back around to Jimmy Haslam, right? It's crazy. And now Baker, of course, has showed his ass the last 2 years with the Buccaneers. Should have been a top 3 or 5 MVP kind of guy yet last year, had 40 touchdowns. Baker still doesn't get the respect he deserves. So, Shedeur Sanders was asked about Dillon Gabriel's comments that was supposed to be about the media. Remember, he said it was about the media, the entertainer and competitor comment. This was Shedeur's answer.
Honestly, I don't even think about nothing. I don't think about anything. If it's not words or anything, at this point, it can't do anything to me. I know, the God put the ability and the power within me to not even think about nobody else's comments, not care. It is what it is. I spoke with him. He said, nah, bro, that wasn't. He said, that wasn't. He told me on the plane. He came up. He was like, nah, bro, that wasn't that true. I see how they trying to spin. I'm like, all right. I'm not tripping. Regardless of whatever it was. Nobody's words or anything affects me, So, yeah.
So did you believe him when he told you it wasn't on you?
Did I believe him?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're trying to start stuff now. I feel like you're trying to start stuff. I mean, he's doing his job. He's supposed to. Do I feel like he did? I don't know. And that's not on me to sit here and be like, oh, he did it. That's not going to change my life in any way.
Interesting. He said, do you believe when he said this wasn't about you? He said, I don't know. That's really his sort of way of saying, yeah, I don't buy it. Which, honestly, I don't love it. Just squash it and say, nah, I don't think so. I kind of hope these comments right here. And look, he's being honest. He wasn't arrogant about his comments, his retort, but it does sort of keep some beef in the room. And you got to wonder how Stefanski's going to respond to that. He didn't egg it on, but he didn't squash it. And I imagine if you were to ask most NFL coaches, they would say, just say, no. He come up and said he wasn't saying it. And I said, okay, it's all good. They said, did you believe him? I don't know. Okay. Interesting. I mean, he's being honest. He didn't have an attitude, which is good. I just think you got to squash it. I mean, Dillon tried to immediately squash it when he realized what people thought he was talking about. I think most people believe he was talking about the media. Um, but it's pretty clear Shedeur Sanders is not sure. He's not real sure. So let's jump over here to Baker because Baker Mayfield was asked about Shedeur Sanders and what he thinks.
He was young. He's had the spotlight on him. So people are going to be overcritical about every little thing. So, I mean, the cliche, control what you can control. And that's, as a quarterback, that's how do you win football games and how do you elevate the guys around you? So it's, I think he himself has all the pieces he needs to have success. And it's just about, the time and place. Since he was young, he said
the time and place. I mean, I will tell you this. I think, and I'm a huge Baker Mayfield guy. I tend to believe that if Baker had it to do over some of the commercials he was doing, some of that kind of stuff, I don't know that Baker would have jumped into that. That's just my guess. But no doubt, I mean, he got out of Cleveland, and that time he spent with Sean McVay, that little bit of time with the Rams, and them getting over to Dave Canales and Liam Cohen down with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he's been a different quarterback for 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons, from the moment he got with the Rams and then, of course, the 2 seasons with the Bucs. And what's amazing is we haven't even talked about the fact, Tom Brady left. Bucs never missed a beat at quarterback with Baker. Pretty remarkable what Tampa Bay did there. So I've got some more Shedeur right here. He was asked about what he's looking forward to playing in Cleveland the most. And he had what I thought was a pretty cool comment about, I guess, trying to get some student athletes or just students some free tickets to the games, that kind of thing.
It'll be your first time playing in Huntington Mayfield. Obviously, the Browns fans traveled in that first game, but what are you looking forward to most playing in front of the home crowd, in front of the Dog Pound?
I'm very excited. I want to do, and I didn't even say this, but I wanted to find a way to get a lot of the high schools free tickets, a lot of the kids, middle schools, everybody free tickets to come to the game. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I didn't talk to anybody about this. But, I just always had, instant thoughts. And I'm like, dang, that'd be cool if we could do it. But I didn't talk to anybody about that yet. So I hope I don't, But I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be an electric atmosphere. I'm excited for it. Everything, everybody. I know a lot of us will be playing in the game, so I'm just excited to be out there and get out there. I'm excited for the new DT96 cleats that will be out there that day. Yeah.
There's been a lot lately about the fact that people just don't like that he's not serious enough. But kid's got a good attitude. I mean, you can't hear that and be like, oh, yeah, I hate his guts. Or, I mean, yeah, he's not being he doesn't feel super serious right there. But you can tell the kid's got a good heart. I mean, I don't think that's disputable. Little happy-go-lucky. You almost rather have a real button-up CEO type as your franchise quarterback. And a lot of fans will hear that and be like, that sucks and that's not fair. Maybe, but I'm just telling you how they are in the NFL. They want that very rigid, Jared Goff and, you know what I'm talking about. And sometimes I think Lamar Jackson's not serious enough, and here he is. He's never won a playoff game. And he cared about his contract more than his team when they needed him. And I think that year that I think they ended up losing to the Bengals maybe or something like that. I can't remember. That's neither here nor there, but I don't hate it. That's a good thing. Him wanting to get the kids tickets to games and things like that. I've got no issues with that at all. I think it's he's like, that's just stuff I think about. That's pretty cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, a lot of people won't like my answer for his answer about Dillon Gabriel. I just think Shedeur should have come out and said, When he said it wasn't about me, I believed him, and that's the end of it. But he didn't say that. Well, don't you want him to be honest? Well, yeah, but, that's a locker room you got to be in, and there's people making decisions about whether or not to keep you in that locker room. What if Stefanski loves Dillon Gabriel? What does that do for you? Now, some would say, well, maybe that gets him traded. Maybe. Maybe. You can't have drama in the locker room between quarterbacks, but it sounds like, whether you believe it or not, he's not holding any ill will. Maybe. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.